Peace viewership, we're here with another segment of Gretski TV, business as usual, and we're here with the brother Khepra Heru, here with his brand, Netter Gifts. How you doing today, brother?
Yeah, I'm on to that family. It's Khepra Heru. I'm Divine. How are you, my brother?
Alright, I'm doing well. Here to discuss a little bit about your brand and how did it get started.
Alright, peace family. First and foremost, it all started with crystals. I was unfamiliar with crystals at first until one day I was walking down the streets of Harlem, 125th Street, where I first met the Grand Master, the Elder, one of my spiritual fathers, Infudisi. It all started with a piece of amethyst. I mean, that's what opened my mind up into the whole diaspora of the minerals. It started with me having insomnia, hard time sleeping, place under my pillow. Voila. It was all peace and harmony, beautiful dreams, beautiful sleep. And ever since then, I've been a knower, not a believer, in the mineral domain. And as far as creating pieces like you see here, beautiful tanzanite ring.
Wait, let me get that clear, my brother. And I'm actually rocking one of the brother's pieces as well right now. It's also a tanzanite piece. Yes, dua-u, brother.
Yeah, it definitely started with just experimenting, like being at one with the mineral structure, being at one with the geometric shapes that we have been surrounded by since our time on this planet. It started as a hobby and became a beautiful outlet of expression to what you see today. I'm also wearing one on my neck.
Yes.
Beautiful chlorinated quartz from Madagascar. Netter's Gifts. It all started out of just curiosity, expression, and just wanting to wear the minerals, wanting to be at one with the minerals, opposed to just buying something that I may not have been fully content with.
Right.
It's different when you're able to have that intimacy with what you're creating. So that's definitely how it all started.
Nice. Quick question, brother. What does it take to sustain a business like yours?
What does it take? It definitely takes, one, being able to share what you have with the people, being able to communicate with the people, and also staying consistent. Consistency is key with anything that you do. It's not an easy task, and I wouldn't say that I'm the model for consistency and what it takes to keep the business going, but it's definitely at its humble beginnings, and I can definitely see a longevity in this type of business.
Nice. For a second, can you touch on the importance of supporting not only businesses like yours, but all black-owned businesses?
It's the most important thing, especially in the days of this time, in this Aquarius age, in the age of happy, where it is the age of information. And where else would you want to find the information other than amongst your people? Where else would you want to spend your money besides amongst your people? Why would you want to spend your money with those who don't have your best interests at heart? Worst come to worst, as we unite as a fully functional community, we will be able to help each other, opposed to seeking help from those who don't have our best interests at heart.
Very true. Very true, brother. And in closing, you got any last statements, and can you give us your contact information and how to find your products?
Okay, last words is definitely get back to nature, people. Don't sleep on the crystals, and look towards your elders for the information that you may be seeking. If you're looking for me, you can find me on Instagram at SoFly. That's s.o.f.l.i.g.h. Again, s.o.f.l.i.g.h on Instagram. You can also find Netter's Gifts on Instagram, NTRGIFTS. NTRGIFTS. You can also find me and my Benji Banra on SoundCloud at S-O-L-I-G-H. Duau family, Dayanek, on Hujasaner. Time is appreciated. Shout out to Spaz Gretski TV.
Yes, sir. Thank you, my brother.
CM Hotel.
Do well.
How are you doing? I just had to come and give you my respects. I'm doing a little counseling now. Good to see you. Yes, indeed. What you got? But I told him, I said, he's elder now. He's too content. I'll be trying to get this stuff 2 days before you know. I like that. You know, I gotta get me a nice one. I want to buy a nice one. A nice terminal, and I'm gonna wrap it up in some Oxy Sky. It's just smooth and I love it. I used to have one that was perfectly round. I don't know, I dropped it somewhere. I got from the same yeah. I tell you, this is even more.
How you doing, audience? We're back with another segment of Gretski TV, business as usual. We're here with Baaba Heru here at the studio of Ptah, and I'm here to ask him a little bit of info about how he was founded and about his work. How you doing, Baaba?
Hotep, my brother. How you doing?
Hotep.
Give thanks.
Yes. Can you please speak on a little bit about how you were founded and how you started this work?
Well, I started this work out of a need to produce for our brothers and sisters emblems for their body temple that has meaning and significance. Pendants, rings, earrings, you name it. Wedding bands specifically are my specialty, wedding bands, engagement rings. Because I've always said that since we were put on those ships, brought over here, raped and lynched, and now we are putting our families together after being so-called emancipated, why should we go to these very people who did these things to us to get the symbol of our union? So I decided early on when I discovered that I could do this work, that I would only make those things that had meaning, because our body temple is a sacred place. It's the true church, it's the true mosque, it's the true tabernacle, this divine body of ours. So what you put on it should have meaning and significance that connects you to your ancestry. So that's what I decided to do. And of course, I started out, I was an apprentice to a man for 1 year who would not let me do anything. All I could do was watch. And he taught me the rudiments of soldering, of how to make molds, how to cast, how to set stones, all those things. And then my sons, Everett, and then later my son, Elaton, they are the ones who are actually the proprietors. I'm just the unpaid designer because I love what I do. I'm retired now from the PD, and so I work for them as a result, really. And I enjoy sculpting, like I'm sculpting this head of Bess right now. This is in wax, and this is going to go on Bess's body, see, like that.
Yeah.
Bess is a Twa, what they call pygmy in English, and so I decided to create. This is part of an ankh that I'm designing for a sister. So sculpting is my greatest love. I love sculpting these emblems of our culture. So this is a very fantastic piece here
Yes.
that I'm doing. Okay. Yeah. So see, uh, our early ancestors. What I do, I'm in the business of spreading news of our divine culture through the art, because I've always said that when it's all over, what is left is the art, and that's how we prove that we own this culture. Um, it's by activating our hereditary memory and giving to our people access to something which no one else would do for them, and we shouldn't expect anyone else to do. I remember years ago, people were asking for the Ankh, and they go up 47th Street, the largest jewelry district in New York City, and they could not find an Ankh up there. And so I said, okay, I'm going to create the emblems of our culture, and that's what I do.
Yes.
So, what else?
Yes, I would like for you to touch on some of the misunderstandings that you may come across as far as and pertaining to the symbols and the deities or so-called gods.
Well, first of all, most of the people who come looking for this know exactly what they want already. They have an idea, they've been following the legacy. Sometimes they may ask for clarification on a deity, the so-called gods and goddesses, as the Egyptologists call them. But these are actually divine principles of nature, which are expressions of the one who is the all of creation, both mother and father of creation. So one of my main concerns is that when it comes to like wedding bands, engagement rings, sometimes a brother may be going with a queen for years and years and years, and he knows he was going to marry at some point, but he always waits until the last minute. That's one of my main issues. Then he comes and I'm expected to lower my price and this bargaining. I don't do that. This is pure art, and I want to be respected. I want the art to be respected. So when you come and you're asking for something custom made, you must do some research to know what it means to do something that's custom made. It means that you only get one of a kind. There's nothing else like it on the planet. Or you can take one of the regular designs that I have and embellish it to suit yourself. I like people to have something to say about what they're putting on their bodies. So that's the misunderstandings. They're very seldom any misunderstanding based upon what goes on the emblems, because as I said before, most people know what they already want, and so all I do is fulfill their desire to have these emblems of culture.
Yes.
Yeah.
What would you like to see come about from the work that you do?
Well, it's already happening. It's already happening is that each person who wears it is like an ambassador for our culture, because there's been so many lies told to scare us away from our own selves that that it's always a pleasure and an honor to serve people who know what they're talking about. And if they don't, I take time to explain and to share with them the knowledge of the emblems of the culture. Like the Ankh, for instance. Right now I'm making up this large Ankh here that's going to have the handle going across the top, you know, and this will be a carrying Ankh. You put your hands and put it over your wrist. These are made for people who are priests and priestesses of the culture. These are not for sale.
Yes.
You can't really buy these. You can't walk in and say, well, I want that carrying Ankh, because we have certain standards. The people who carry this, they have to be able to show that they're living it. And so for instance, let's say someone comes in who wants to learn the legacy and they're suffering from obesity. We'll suggest that they go and do some cleansing and purification of their body. Because if you're carrying a symbol of life, you can't look as if you're half dead, you see. So we want people to mirror what they say this culture is about. This culture is about ma'at, restoring balance, harmony, you know, to the divine temple, first of all. So how we appear is very important. When you look on the temple walls, very seldom, maybe you'll see one, they call him Sheikh el-Beled, that's what the Arabs call him. He's a very corpulent man, but you don't see that on the temple walls. Everybody is like slim, and they are sitting, their backs, even the workmen on their workbenches, their backs are ramrod straight. There's no humping over like I do sometimes. I always have to straighten myself up. Yes. Because the column through which the divine elixir, or what we call the spinal fluid, runs, should be uninterrupted. So if your back is straight, you have more access to that divine elixir that goes to the brain to give you enlightenment. So it's very important, even our posture, how we sit. And that is part. I always tell our brothers and sisters to go to the temple walls. That's the paradigm that we should be following. Sisters should be dressing the way our ancestors dressed. The most powerful women that ever walked the earth dressed with garments that fit their bodies, because they took good care of their bodies. And of course, it went all the way down to their ankles. Now people say, well, are you trying to cover up the women? Well, since we live in a culture where men have act like dogs, don't we want our sisters to inspire respect? You see, the ancient women of Kemet and Nubia and Kush, they wore very heavy emblems around their chest area. Their eyes were well made. They used to wear earrings and necklaces and armbands. This encouraged the eyes to look at the top rather than looking at a booty, you see, because it was said that the face is of Ra, the face represents the sun. So these emblems around the neck symbolize the rays of the sun coming from the face. So it's very important that we use our ancestors' paradigm, their guide, to create a new inspiration in terms of our dress. And the emblems, these emblems I'm wearing here, the cuffs, this ankh here, even these links on this chain are made of ma'at and ankh links put together. You see?
Yes.
So, what else?
Lastly, in closing, do you have any last statements, and can you give us your contact information or any social media outlets that you may have?
Well, of course, they have me on YouTube now. We go Baaba Heru, B-A-A-B-A Heru on YouTube. Also, I have a few interviews I did with Sarnetta recently. One, he came down here called Where Do You Buy Your Jewelry From? And on that one, if you go to Sarnetta Black Channel 102, you can see that one. And I recently did another one with Professor Smalls, Baba M. Fundishi, together up at Sarnetta Studios. So, and if you want to get in touch, go to the website, the studio of Ptah.com, studioofptah.com. You can call the studio here at 212-343-9706. And I'll be more than happy to talk to you, to answer any questions you have. People call once they see me on YouTube, and they call and pick up the phone. They say, wow, I didn't expect to get to speak to you directly. I said, why not? I'm accessible. I'm not one of these people who hide from my brothers and sisters. I'm here to serve. That's the key thing. Service and giving our people things that they need. There may be some things that they want, but what we need is to really connect with our culture. I see, for instance, a lot of brothers wearing the baseball cap now. That's the new crown. And I always tell them, listen, at least the baseball, the game of baseball, the point of baseball is to make it to home base. And I hope that we would make it to our African home base. But I think that we ought to evolve a new type of headdress, mirroring what the Nubian kings used to wear, rather than wearing these caps, because it doesn't make it look as if we're serious. We're only into sports. And that's the one thing that has always bothered me. We can know all of the RBIs of this or that ball player, how many hoops were made, how many triples he made, and all this kind of stuff. But when it comes to economics, when it comes to entrepreneurship, we're way behind. And I think that too much of sports, and these ball games, as Francis Welsing calls it, is a bit of a distraction of our brothers and sisters on the ball court. Um, all of these basketball players, they are real athletes, and some of them are like ballet dancers on the court. Some of them they literally float in the air, and that's good to watch brothers taking care of their bodies. But the preoccupation, sitting and looking at games for hours and hours, is really not cutting it for us as a people.
Yes.
So I think that we ought to cut down on these ball games and get into the real ball game of economics. This is what you are now dealing with, entrepreneurship and doing something with our hands. Most of our young people are now using their hands just to pull their pants up because they wear it willfully so they can fall down, so they spend a lot of time pulling it up. And these hands should be using to create carvings for our homes. We should have in our homes, we should have these emblems. Now you see all of these, the art. These wings over here were hand carved by me and painted by me.
Yes.
And so on. So these are some of the things that we need to have. Headboards in our bedroom. What should be in the headboards? They should be well carved with emblems of our culture. So we will have ancestral dreams, you see. So again, I want people to, don't hesitate to call at 212-343-9706 or go on the website and look at some of the things that I've done at studioofptah.com.
Yes. Thank you, Brother Dua.
It's my pleasure, my brother.
Yes.
Thank you.
What's going on, viewership? We're back with another segment of Gretski TV, Business as Usual. We're here with Malcolm-Emilio, here to speak about his artifacts, his journey, and a little bit about his works. How you doing, brother?
Yeah, greetings. Give thanks for the platform. Give thanks for sharing some time and space and giving me a chance to voice a little bit about this physical experience that I've been put here again, you know? Give thanks. It's been a journey, yes that it is. Malcolm-Emilio, first name's hyphenated. That says a lot about me, you know what I'm saying? I'm 27 years old. Expression has created a currency for me to navigate this metaphysical terrain and understand how to move in North America, where I was born, but with rich heritages. Father from Barbados, mother from Chile, gave me a lot of great structure coming up, principles and foundation. Right now, I feel a lot of my artwork is my main platform of expression and getting my work out there. I paint very big work with fruits and vegetables as my utensils. Um, Trying to connect with the youth as much as I can and just remind them of a certain essence and replenish different beings and different origins, you know? So I feel we're all here together, so given a chance to express myself through my art and let it take me around the world as its own currency, it's a journey right now.
That's blessings, brother.
Give thanks.
I would like for you to touch on some of the misunderstandings that you come across with your artwork, and how do you approach these misunderstandings?
I would say it's humbling. Misunderstandings maybe only because maybe my work is being experienced by someone who has not yet seen or experienced those feelings that it's given them before, and I feel that that's inevitable for this journey because I myself am feeling new things every day amongst this growth and evolution of this work myself. A lot of, I wouldn't call it misunderstanding, but just, you know, different miscommunications with my work is people looking at it being only translated for monetary value, and I often come with, you know, an approach of asking for bartering of some sort or resources or just different ways that we're able to, I guess, you know, share and obtain each other's talents and, you know, resources to transcend the monetary value. And me even trying to say that all the time is one of the biggest misunderstandings with my work, because beyond it having a direct price, I always have something to say about a story about how I got it, why I have it here, and just the physical work that I've done for it to now take me to somewhere that's, you know, going to allow me to travel or just to continue to experience a new part of my life. So, yeah.
Great, great. I also would like you to touch on and speak on, what do you want to see come from your works and your artifacts and the skills that you obtain, that you possess in this life?
Wow, it's a beautiful question. Yeah, you know, I would say one of the main objectives would be to just serve source, you know, the life source, to be true within myself and within my intuitive progress, to stay close to what is an ascension and a progression at all times. For this work to come out of me naturally will be the work that I'm not doing for me, but something a lot bigger than me. It's for my generation, right? And for upcoming generations, and for generations that came way before me, to be able to see me reincarnating this work and paving a path once again of unlearning and giving us a space to relearn certain things without being taught, but by being reminded. So within the upcoming 5, 10, 15, 20, 100 years, what I express and what comes out of me should be something that is a contribution to the ascension of the, you know, the upcoming ones, and wants to say, yeah, that's inspiration, motivation, and empowerment towards what it is they want to follow through with, you know. So it's for the youth that that's coming for.
And lastly, brother, I would like for you to, if you have any last statements, and give us your contact information or any social media outlets that you have.
I need to make myself more contactable, you know, but naturally what I cross paths with and who I cross paths with is all aligned for me within divine order. So I have a social media platform, stay_relevant. Allows me to document different parts of my life and different parts of the journey that I'm going on right now, so that I can reach out internationally to reflections of myself. And really, more than anything, yeah, I'm just very present, you know. You'll see me, and that is one of my main ways to contact me is I'm around, and when we meet and connect, then that's the way and that's the time it was gonna have to happen. So, give thanks, you know.
Yes. Give thanks, brother. Thank you.